What's up, YouTube? This is Take Five Podcast. Today's topic is top five Motorhead songs. All right, would you come up with number five?
Number five, I got a song off of my favorite Motorhead album, Rock and Roll, with Stone Death in the USA. Just opens up fucking fast, rock and roll fast, talking about, favorite spots in the USA, man. Mentions the Rainbow, Limelight in New York City. Like I said, just said the Rainbow and Hollywood. Good song, man. Fast Motorhead, but still rock and roll from the
Okay.
album Rock and Roll.
Yeah, we're Motorhead. We play rock and roll.
Yeah.
All right, my number five. This is not surprising, but off the album 1916, released in 1991. Ramones, Ramones. They're
Okay.
there's a live Ramones album where they do this song and Lemmy sings it with them.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking good, man. Hell yeah, you got to check that out.
And I will, because I gotta be honest, I'm really not familiar with any Motorhead from the '90s on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that 1916 album like the first one after Rock and Roll.
Well, it came out in 91.
Okay.
Rock and roll was what, 87?
Seven, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. 1916 was the next one after that. I
Yeah.
see, like, I didn't, other than, like Ace of Spades and stuff, I didn't really get into Motorhead until the rock and roll record, which we'll be discussing that. But so
Okay.
like for that 1916, March or Die, Bastards,
Yeah.
that's when I was really into it.
Okay.
It's like Shane, he loved Bastards record.
Oh, okay.
Right. So what
That
you
ice
got
cream
for
got me, man.
what you got for number four?
Number four, fuck, I forget what album this is off of right now, man. I think Overkill. Um, but I love this fucking song, man. Stay Clean. Rock and roll, fuck, just boogie type style to it, man. Fucking good little drum intro to it. And like I said, it's got like a boogie type feel to it, man. Stay Clean.
I'm sure I heard it, but top of my head, I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
it.
I'm pretty sure it's on Overkill.
Right on.
So the
I
ice cream got me, y'all. So my mind's all
but
fucked up.
I like the song Overkill off of that.
Yeah, 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 me too. Yeah.
I my number four. This isn't technically Motorhead, but it's our show, so we do what the fuck we want to do. This was a collaboration with Girl School
Oh
titled
hell
Head Girl. In
yeah.
1981, they released an EP called Valentine's Day Massacre. They did a cover of the 1959 hit from the band Johnny Kidd and the Pirates, Please Don't Touch.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing, man.
It is good. And I forgot about that. Yeah.
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 So I consider Lemmy singing on it, so fuck it, it's Motorhead.
hmm I'm down with that. Yeah. No arguments there.
All right. Would you come up with number three?
Number three is another um rock and roll Motorhead song, man. Classic. Yeah, I consider a couple eras of Motorhead to be classic, but the Fast Eddie, Filthy Phil, Lemmy era, the song No Class. Got I think I've kind of argued with this couple people. I think it's a slow, it sounds to me like a very slowed down version to the ZZ Top song Tush.
Makes
Just the
sense.
opening guitar riff, yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Um,
sense.
but once again, just it's all rock and roll, man. So whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, no class.
And I think ZZ Top was influence on Motorhead.
Makes total sense.
Because like
Yeah.
I think even they in the early stuff, I think they've done some ZZ Top covers.
Hmm.
Right. For my number three, I've always been a fan of ballads of artists,
Hmm.
and Motorhead's not really known for their ballads, but I love this song featuring Ozzy and Slash from the March or Die record, 1992. I ain't no nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a big hit. He played that on the radio. It's weird hearing Motorhead on
Yeah.
the radio, but
Yeah. It's still that song still gets played on Sirius XM.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So I know definitely what you're talking about.
yeah, it's funny because when you think of Motorhead, you don't think of fucking ballads, except
No,
for the
you're
one
right.
that you hate where Daddy's
Yeah.
touching him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So weird, man. So fucking weird.
Right on. All right. What you got for number two?
Number two is pick for me once again, and this is mostly because this was the intro song to the opening credits to the Decline of Western Civilization Part Two movie, The Metal Years. I think it's a fucking amazing guitar riff, amazing guitar tone, Cradle to the Grave. Fucking and underrated. I believe it's a very underrated Motorhead song. Just a few years ago, Integrity did a cover of this. Just about
Oh
3 years
yeah,
ago. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I think I have that.
yeah. And it was this that cover is pretty good too. Um, but yeah, I just love that opening guitar riff, man. The crunch and that tone, and like I said, it just really sets the tone for that movie too, man. I admit it, man. I love that fucking movie, man. I
Oh
remember my
yeah,
mom took me to the one of the Drexel movie theaters back in had to been '88 then to see that. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's how that song sticks with me, man.
yeah. It is a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's funny doing this, doing research. Like I never thought about it, but pretty much every album they have a title track. You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
album
Yeah.
is a half of mine. I mean, that's what they are. Like my number two from 1986, Orgasmatron
Yep.
song, Orgasmatron. That's fucking heavy as fuck, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't like Scarhead or somebody do that one, do a cover of it? I know they was
Uh
a hardcore band.
yeah, well there was a Victory Records did a Motorhead cover tribute album,
Yeah.
and it was all mostly Victory bands.
Uh huh.
Um, I forget who did Orgasmatron. Um, Scarhead did like a more kind of little more deeper cut Motorhead song, but I don't think it was Orgasmatron that they did.
Really?
But I'm pretty sure someone did that on that record. And I
Yeah,
also
I
know that
know.
Sepultura done a cover of it.
Yeah, I know. There was a band that did that song on there, but I remember I liked it. For some
Okay,
reason, I thought it was Scarhead, but yeah, I don't remember who it was. But maybe like Snapcase or something. I don't know, but I remember
yeah, could have been.
I did like it.
Hmm. And I always remember the Sepultura cover too.
Yeah, I think I've heard
Yeah.
that too. All
And
right.
that was the tour that fucking Cro-Mags did with Motorhead, which that just I know we talked about that on the tours we wish we had seen episode, but
Mm-hmm.
I that would have been fucking the only thing about that tour for me would have been Filthy Phil wasn't playing drums in Motorhead then. Um he so but we'll talk more about that. Filthy Phil coming back in the band when he did. So
Right on. All right. So, what was your number one?
What was your number two?
Orgasmatron.
Oh, duh, fuck.
We spent 10 minutes talking about
Yeah.
it.
My number one, this is the song that I would say actually got me into Motorhead, and it was later on. I mean, I obviously knew of Motorhead in the 80s and in the 90s, etc. And I never disliked them, but I never really got into them. I knew all the songs that they had videos for, obviously Ace of Spades, um, yeah, Iron Fist, Eat the Rich. I mean, there was a handful of songs liked them. Had seen them a couple times even, but um, this was the song for me. I'd say 15 to 20, between 15 and 20 years ago, that really solidified, like, fuck, I'm into this band now. And that's when I really discovering Motorhead. Um, and the song just tells amazing stories in it. And I think it's a very anthemic song. Anthemic. Did I just make up a word? I'm not sure. Song. My number one, We Are the Road Crew.
Yep. I had that
Yeah.
as honorable mention. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that is a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that and Ace of Spades as honorable mentions. Like I didn't want to put that on my list because that's the song everybody knows, but it's still a
Yeah.
great
Even if
song.
I agree.
So I didn't want,
Yes.
yeah, I didn't want to put it on my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, my number one. Um, See, I'm like you. I didn't really get into them because that, I was mainly into glam during that time, and I was like, I just, I didn't like his voice. I mean, I love it now, but I didn't like his voice back then, and it just wasn't my
Hmm.
style. Like even Ace of Spades, I didn't like it as a kid. But Iron Fist is my number one,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that might even been the first song I heard from him. Man, it
Okay.
was probably Ace of Spades, but it might have been Iron Fist because it came out in '82, and in 1980
Hmm.
I wasn't really that deep into the stuff yet. You know what I mean? So I think Iron Fist might have been the first one I really heard, and I didn't like it. But like I said, I
And,
didn't like
and
them then. I started getting them on the album that's going to be our record of the week. That's when I started getting into them, and then I went back and heard their older shit and followed them after that.
yeah, I remember the video for Iron Fist. So I remember that song
Mm-hmm.
through the 80s, seeing the video. The same with Ace of Spades. And they were all the kind of like live performance video
Yeah,
type thing. But yeah, I definitely remember Iron Fist. That's I had that as an honorable mention. Looking at my honorable mentions, yeah,
yeah,
Iron Fist, yeah.
great song. Yeah,
So that's a good one too. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Cool album cover too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, what else you have for honorable mentions?
Um, just a couple others. Bomber. I like
Mm-hmm.
the song Bomber. We just said Iron Fist. Doctor Rock. I like that song Doctor Rock. It's slower, kind of moody, slow kind of thing. And the only other one is Fast and Loose. That was actually, if I remember, so I did this list about a year ago because
Mm-hmm.
we talked about a year ago about doing this as a topic, and didn't end up happening. So I've had this list written for, like I said, about a year, and I want to say, if I remember right, Fast and Loose almost made my top five. I just don't remember what. I want to say it was probably Stone Deaf in the USA that knocked it out. It was probably that.
Okay.
But yeah, man, Fast and Loose, Dr. Rock, Bomber, Iron Fist. Those are some of the honorable mentions I had.
Yeah, you had your list for about a year. I've had mine for about an hour. It's like I just kind of went through and songs that popped out. Like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Like
Yeah.
here's one off the Bomber record, Stone Dead Forever.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
awesome, man. Then I
yeah,
had Killed by Death.
yeah.
And then
Yep.
you mentioned like an anthem song. I consider this one like that too. Born to Raise Hell off Bastards.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. You hear me? Damage Case. That's another one that just hit me. Good honorable mention.
Mm-hmm. That's all I had for honorable
You
mentions.
got, yeah, me too. Yeah. Yep.
All right. All right. Well, what's your album of the week? I know we've already said it, but
Yeah. Well, we when we talked about this the other day, and I said, it just made sense to have a Motorhead album as album of the week, and we discovered that Rock and Roll is both our favorite Motorhead album. Um, and like I said, it sounds to me like that's where it started for you.
yep.
Um, it took, like I said, it. I remember the video for "Eat the Rich," and like I said, I don't remember that "Cradle to the Grave" is on the was a B side to one of the singles off of Rock and Roll. Yeah, hell, it actually might have been the B side to "Eat the Rich," the "Eat the Rich" single. And it's on like the deluxe versions, extended versions, etc.
Yeah.
Cradle to the Grave. But yeah, man, starts Filthy Phil back in the band. Like I said, because he wasn't the Orgasmatron, and what was the album before or after Orgasmatron? There were two albums that the dude who played in Saxon was in playing drums. Um,
Well, Rock and Roll was after Orgasmatron. That was the
right,
next
and
one.
that's the album with
Yeah.
Filthy Phil back in the band.
Yeah. Another
And there
Perfect
was
Day was before that.
yeah, Another Perfect
Then
Day, and then
then Iron
Orgasmatron.
Yeah, and Iron Fist was before that.
Orgasmatron and Another Perfect Day were back to back.
Yeah.
They were back, and they had a dude that played in whose name's escaping me. Good drummer, but he had played in Saxon, and Rock and Roll was the album back with Filthy Phil. That and at that point, had Phil Campbell on guitar, Wurzel on guitar, and to me, that is another classic lineup of Motorhead having the twin guitar attack of Phil
Yeah.
Campbell and
Mm.
Wurzel. Yeah, and so on that album, um, Rock and Roll, man. I said Eat the Rich. I did remember liking that video, and that video
Yeah.
was like a song for an out or for like
From a movie.
a movie. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was a TV show, like a British movie then.
Yeah, I think it was, and I
Okay.
think Lemmy was in it or cameo or
Yeah.
something. I knew he was in it
Yeah.
to some extent.
Yeah. Then I said Stone Deaf in the USA is on that album.
The song Rock and
Um,
Roll's good.
the song Rock and Roll, The Wolf, come the
Mm-hmm.
fuck on, man.
Yeah.
Uh, Traitor, Boogeyman. Yeah, man, the album's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Like I said, this is when I first got into him. The Eat the Rich, the video was cool. So that, that's like we talked about a video a few weeks ago. It was a song I liked because the video was fun to watch. And
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
remember I got a gift card to a local record store called Buzzard's Nest at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there and
We love Buzzard's Nest, man.
yeah,
We talked
Buzzard's Nest
about
was
it.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was I bought that on cassette. So that was the first Motorhead cassette that I ever bought.
Okay.
And so that's, probably my favorite. That's the one I listened to the most because, I had it as a kid. And
Yep.
I said, and I went back after that. But yeah, that man, I just Eat the Rich was so good, man. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good song.
yeah,
I said The Wolf, man. Fuck. I said Stone Deaf in the USA, Boogeyman, Cradle to the Grave. Those are all the ones for me off that album, man.
um, there was a movie called Eat the Rich.
Was that the movie?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it was a black comedy released in
Yeah.
'87,
It
and
was like a British kind
yeah,
of
it had
comedy, right?
all the people from the Young Ones was in it.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so they did the soundtrack to it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I knew it was from a movie. I didn't realize the movie was called Eat the Rich, but yeah, like but that's what it was.
Okay. And didn't one of the guys from Monty Python do the narrative prior to the song The Wolf? You know, the whole
Yeah,
oh
yeah, I never talk about yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this movie had Paul McCartney in it. It said all the dudes from the Young Ones. Bill Wyman was in it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Robbie Coltrane. Like there's yeah, it had like I've never seen the movie, but I
I
might have to
don't
go
think I
watch it
have.
now just just because we're talking about it.
Yeah, and mostly is it most of the video like clips and scenes from the
Yeah, yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I
Yeah.
remember like at a party or something.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, like
crashing
or
on a wall
yeah,
with a
like it looked
motorcycle.
like some yeah, like some gathering. Yeah, and they crashed it or something. Yes, it's something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like yeah.
And good art, well, good album cover,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that was like someone did a painting of the war pig thing. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and actually I told you Integrity did that cover of Cradle to the Grave. They did it, I think they did a variation of the same rock and roll album cover, but in a painting way. But like I said, a variation to it. That was the cover for the single they did of that cover, Cradle to the Grave cover.
Yeah. Yeah. The spoken word on the blessing was Michael Palin from Monty Python.
Monty Python. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah. Yep.
Right on. And anything else on that?
No, man. Just if somebody's gonna get started with Motorhead, uh, that would be a good one to
Yep.
start with. You
That's
know.
what. That's how we did
Um,
it. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'll catch up to like Ace of Spades, obviously having a lot of great songs on it too, and that classic trio version. But to me, that rock and roll's the classic with the Wurzel and
mhm.
Phil Campbell era for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anything else?
Well, man, we got to get some people
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna
subscribe,
say like comment below on
comment.
like on how to like well what we could do to make the show better, make it more entertaining. Like give some
Yeah,
ideas.
make it
Like
more interesting for people, that would
yeah,
want to continue to watch it. I mean, what's something different that would make the difference that you would want to watch something else again? Because we're always looking for ideas. You know,
yeah. This show isn't about like making money or anything. We just like talking rock and roll, and we just figured we do it for YouTube. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
so like we're open to
We've been,
suggestions on anything to like
me and you will sit and have conversations like this for the past 20 years.
yeah, no shit.
You
Like yeah,
know?
we'll talk about all this shit at lunch and then talk about it again, an
Yeah,
hour later. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it, man.
So yeah, man. Tell a friend something. If you think there might be somebody, if it's not your thing, that's cool. I respect that. But if you're like, hey man, you like Motorhead, right? These guys just did a top five Motorhead songs thing
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Amy Joe always looking out for us. She loves to comment. She loves to interact. I know she'd probably, love to come on and do something with us again, which would probably happen in the future. But
Yeah, for sure. She come on anytime she
yeah, man.
wants.
Yeah. So yeah, other people, man, like, comment, subscribe. People usually say all that shit at the beginning, you know. Um, but I think we're cool with it too. If and it's about quality, not quantity necessarily. But I think we both feel like we got some content that some people would be into if they just discover it.
Mm-hmm.
They come across it, because there's got to be more people like you and I that love to just fucking nerd out and talk about this shit with their buddies.
Like, but we have a small but loyal following, though. We get
And that's all good. I'd
Yeah, I
rather
know.
have that
That's what I'm
than a
saying. You
bunch of
know.
motherfuckers that like will watch 2 minutes of it and be like, well, who the fuck are these guys? You know,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So yeah, all the people that can, that may want, let us know who you are, at least,
Even if we suck, tell us. Tell us why we suck. So
Yeah.
we can
What
change
can
it.
we do to improve? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Whatever it may be, like it doesn't necessarily have to be the content. Fuck, if you be like, hey, you guys need better microphones,
yeah.
or a better background, something, just want some interaction with people. Would like to see some interaction with anyone that watches these, especially watches them this far,
Right.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Is that it?
So I think that this one was a short but sweet. That's how
Yep.
Motorhead did it, man. Short but sweet,
Fuck yeah. Punk rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching. Five and
Yep.
out.
5 and out.